My 72-hour rule says that at the incidence of learning, the potential for change brought by the new insight, by the new learning, is close to 100%. But as you get further and further away from the incidence of learning, that potential for change begins to diminish. And it quickly dissipates to the point possibly below 50% within 72 hours, sometime earlier, sometime later, but around about 72 hours. By which I mean, below 50%, by which I mean that the gravitational pull of current conditions and limitations overwhelmed the change potential that you experienced and interpreted and saw in the idea and the new practice and the new strategy that we were about to explore. Part of this realization is driven by the understanding of how we adults learn. And the recognition that for us adults, learning is no longer the kind of learning experience we've had in our toddler years. We have all observed our children through the toddler years, and we know when we watch that age that what you're actually seeing is one of the most profound occurrences, one of the most profound miracles on earth. I remember our son, when he was 3-4 years of age. He's now 30, just had his birthday. In 3 days he's getting married, so time flies when you're having fun. I remember him at the age of 3 and 4 standing and staring. And I thought to myself, if I could just get my ear close to his head, I could literally almost hear the process in his brain. The best way to describe the toddler's experience of learning is that it is a 3D printing that takes place inside the toddler's brain in real time as the toddler's brain maps and creates the topography of meaning because of the experience that he's immersed by. It's a complete, total, immersive learning experience. By the way, that's why it is so important that as parents, we do transfer and create the experience of warmth and love and safety and all those important interactions. And if me saying that produces any guilt in any one of you because you're a busy entrepreneur, let me absolve that guilt for you right away by reminding you that the toddler's brain, your children's brain, measures not the number of hours in the day that you spend with them, but rather the quality of your presence when you are with them. Okay? 40 minutes of undivided, uncluttered, fully engaged presence could mean and could register in the toddler's brain a lot more, in a much more meaningful way than 4 hours of multitasking. So, because I know you're busy entrepreneurs and somewhere there is this thought, should I be more with my family? I always believed and always tell the people I work with, it's not the number of hours, but it's the quality of presence that you bring when you are with them. My point is that we adults, we no longer learn like toddlers. We adults, we are wired to contextual learning, to learning by relevance. This is why the topic of today is creating new futures for yourself and for your business and for your organization, because that is the point of efficacy, that is the point of relevancy in the EO context. And because of that, I propose that we must quickly go through the 4 stages of adult learning to arrive as quickly as you can to the sense of ownership. Ownership to whatever it is that you decided is most relevant and most critical for you. What are the 4 stages of adult learning? Stage 1, you receive new information. Stage 2, you validate the information to make sure you understand the insight, the new practice, the new approach to problem solving. Stage 3, you move from understanding to action. You begin to run water through the pipes. You begin to build muscle memory. And stage 4 is when you move to take ownership to the new learning. The ultimate ownership to learning is when you teach it to the people in your world, because when you teach a new learning to somebody else, first thing you do is you crystallize it at a whole new level for yourself. You all have the experience when you needed to teach something to another person. You actually needed to understand what you were talking about. And the second reason why this is such a critical stage to arrive at, because by teaching some of the key ideas that are important for you to the people in your world and to your teams, you are literally building a system, an ecosystem of reinforcement for the most important practices and the most important ideas that you want to continue to propel yourself, your business, and everything you are touching and doing. The practical application of what I'm suggesting is that the 1 or 2 or 3 key ideas we are discussing today, success means you are able to share and teach these to the people in your world, to some people on your teams, certainly before the 72-hour window closes, preferably within 12 to 24 hours.